Why, hello there. It's Kevin, the Canadian Hillbilly, and this one's another hillbilly how-to. So if any of you guys have been following the channel for some time, you know that I had a high banker and that it all burnt up in a forest fire. That sucked. So over the winter, I managed to scrounge enough parts and pieces while I was in Alberta, and I got some goodies from a good friend of mine, Paul Jarvis of Adventures in Gold Prospecting. And if you've been following the channel, you know I built a sheet metal brake for building sluice boxes. So now that I have some material, we're going to build a sluice box. Now, I imagine it's going to take a little bit. I'm going all aluminum as much as I can to make it lightweight and strong. And yeah, this is how we're going to do it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a heat gun. I'm going to warm up these stickers and see if I can peel them off. So I'm just trying to reduce as much weight as I possibly can, and every little bit helps. You see I got some expanded metal back here. There's some legs back down here with some brackets. Miner's moss and V-mat. I think that's in the house downstairs in my gold cleanup room area. So yeah, time to get crack-a-lackin', as Chris Rock would say. I'm hoping I can do all my bending outside, because it looks like it's going to be a nice day. So that's a bonus. And if it decides not to be a nice day, I got the good old wood stove here and a little stash of firewood that I can get going. So, time to get the ball rolling and see what I can do. I'll turn this thing back on once I get some aluminum cleaned up here, and we're ready to rock and roll. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's probably going to be quite the process. Hopefully everything goes well. Okay. I finally got the sticker off. I got the glue off. It turned into an ordeal, to the point where I am not going to do that with any of the other ones. Screw that. But I got the one nice. I'm kind of happy with it. One thing I noticed is when you heat it up, it gets a little warped. So it's another advantage. Yeah, I was using the heat gun, then I went to a blowtorch just to scrape that off, and then peeling and cleaning the glue. Well, you can see the mess I made just trying to get that done, and of course I'm wearing half of it, and this stuff's just nasty. So, yeah, no more of that BS. Just give her a quick one and be done. Stickers are staying. I wanted to reduce as much weight as I could, but oh well. At least I got this one section looking nice, and that's about all I think I'm gonna want to do, because like I say, it's the stuff nightmares are made of, for sure. I'm just glad it's over and done with, this one piece anyways. Now I can take a little bit of a break. Hey, what a pile of work. A big pile of work. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, I figured I'd give you guys a bit of an update and see what was going on here. That only took about 5 hours. Oh, god damn her. This is going to be a rough project. Okay, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to see this or not, but the first thing I did was I laid out my center line. My sluice is going to be 8 inches wide, so there's the next 2 lines. So this one's going to get scored with my circular saw, and I'm going to take just, about a 1/2 millimeter material out of there, and on that straight line to, help with the fold. The X area, that's going to be removed. That's going to be removed. And this is going to be removed. This is going to be removed. So this fold and this fold will be the first 2 folds. This will be the 3rd fold, and then this little tab here will clamp up to this wall once it's vertical, and it'll be bolted in. Now that gives me a nice little crash box, everything of equal heights on the tops and sides, and it gives me lots of room to have my hinge area for where the crash box will go into this. And this is the very bottom part of the first section of the sluice run. So I'm also going to have to make this a little bit longer, because I'm going to be shooting for 4 feet in length, maybe even a little bit longer if possible, depending on what I have for materials. And I believe everything I have is in a 4-foot length, so I'll probably just make it to a 4-footer. But yeah, that's where I'm at in this game. And it's important, you got to remember that your saw blade is an 1/8 inch. So this measurement here is 4 inches and 1/8. Same with this one, 4 inches and 1/8. So that way you got a nice 4-inch even side on here. This is measured to here, and this measurement to there corresponds to that, so that way when the box is constructed, it'll be flush going across the top, nice and even. The only issue I think I might run into is this gap here. I might have to make an additional score mark here a little bit wider to encompass this fold, so that way it's nice and flat. But I'm not too worried about that. It's easy enough to do one of these a little bit, just a smidge wider for when the time comes. That way when I fold everything up, I'll have it won't be pinching in and put a little extra strain on that corner. And it should make it nice and good and snug. That's what I'm hoping. And then I'm just going to, put a couple bolts into here, and that'll be bolted into this wall here once everything's folded up to hold it into place. I'm going to have my leg will be around here, and my other leg will be just probably around where I'm going to make a bracket for an extension, so that way when I do my other short piece of run, it'll encompass that. And that's where I'll probably end up putting my legs, because it'll be a little bit tougher and more rigid there. And when I make my overlap, I'll probably use something like, wider the better, a good 8 inches will cross. And yeah, so I'll resume once I get some cuttings done. I might just chop up my pieces first, my X pieces, and get them out of the equation. And yeah, pretty pumped. Now I gotta get more tools out. But this is what I got marked up, and I'm kind of happy with the way this looks. My piece is all cut out, as you can see. It's looking pretty good down there. Next thing I gotta do is do my score lines, and this thing will be all prepped for folding. So it's yeah, pretty straightforward process. It's a little pain in the butt to get in these little nooks and crannies with a file, but smooth out all your edges so you got no rough spots, no sharp edges, because you don't want to cut your hands while you're working with your high banker. And yeah, so I'm going to get these score lines in there. I'll turn this back on and I'll show you what's going on. Okay, got my score lines in here. This piece is now ready to be folded. But before I fold it, I'm going to make up the remaining pieces I'm going to need for my sluice run, because it needs to be longer, obviously. And yeah, that's whereabouts I'm at. So I'm gonna have to bust out another piece of aluminum, and I should just redo it so I don't have that sticker there. So I got my score lines all in here. This thing is ready to be folded, but I need to extend this to 4 feet. So I'm gonna do the deal with another piece of aluminum here and get it ready to go. And then I got to build my little bracket that goes on the end of it. So yeah, we got some more measuring, marking, and cutting to do here. And I'm kind of happy that everything turned out. A bit of a dip spot there, but that shouldn't be bothersome there. When I do the fold, it should just take it, I hope. And yeah, it's looking good so far. Kind of happy with it. I did a double score here, so that way this thing has more room to fold and overlap on the outside of this for when it finally happens. And this gives me a nice little drop box here for where the crash box is going to drop into the sluice run. So I'm really happy with the way this piece turned out. Another thing, you got to file down all your edges. Make sure you don't got no sharp edges here. You don't want to cut your hands while you're working, or even later on when you're working with this thing, putting dirt through it. So yeah, that's whereabouts I'm at. I'm going to hit the brakes on this, and yeah, pretty pumped. It's turning out pretty nice. Gotta say, I'm kind of happy. Okay, well, I got my extension all cut, cleaned up, and scored, ready to be folded. This is going to be the piece that's going to be the bracket that's going to go between the two of them. I'm going to score that once I get these two folded. That way I know I got my proper width. And yeah, I got the brake set up. And if you're wondering how a guy makes one of these things, I did a video on that. So you can watch that video and you can figure that all out for yourself. And yeah, time to put some metal in there and do some folding. Looking forward to this. It's going to be nice. It's a lot of work to clean all this stuff up and mark it all up. Yeah, I started early in the morning. It's already getting to the afternoon, evening. Oh boy. Well, my first fold went well. Second fold, not so well. Yeah. Back to cleaning up the sign. Cleaning up that one only took about, 4.5, 5 hours. Yeah. This is great. Well, the sun's starting to go down. I got the replacement sheet for the one that, let's not talk about that. Anyways, I got the replacement one all marked out, and I'm going to cut this up tomorrow when I have better daylight. It's just going to hang out here for the evening. Looks nice. And it's all pretty much ready to go. It'll be the same deal as the last one. Hopefully this one doesn't break. In the break. Oh, the irony isn't lost on me. Yeah, I got all my stuff kind of put away, and I forgot those plants over here. I'm gonna come inside. I don't want to leave them out. I'm gonna resume this tomorrow morning, and hopefully I have better results, because this sucked. I tell you what. That totally sucked. Anyways, until then. Oh boy. Okay, I got my next piece all cut. I got it clamped in here. I tried experimenting with my other piece of aluminum that I broke yesterday, and it broke again. So I'm quite nervous about how this is going to go. Hopefully it goes all right, and let me see if I can set the camera up here. Please don't break. Please don't break. It's an awful process of cleaning this. Yeah. I need more counterweight on this darn device of mine, because it's wanting to move. Need some ballast. I wonder what I can use. Well, I guess I should turn this camera off until I figure out this problem. Trying to take a fold. I just hope it doesn't break. That's all I'm worried about. It broke. That went too quick and easy near the end. I know what that meant. Son of a bitch. I gotta make a third one now. Great. This sucks. This really sucks. I wonder what I'm doing wrong. Well, after 3 different attempts on building this sluice run and the aluminum breaking 3 times, I just basically I gave up on that. I'm going to try using different aluminum. I've had better luck with this stuff here. This was the section I was going to use to extend it to get to the 4 feet, and this was going to be my gapper piece. And these ones folded nicely, no fracturing on that. So I'm beginning to think it's my selection of aluminum I had there as the culprit. So I'm going to try building it with different aluminum. But for now, everything's kind of packed up and put away, and tools are done for the day. And, I got rigs to put away yet. So, the saga of building the high bagger, it will continue, I hope. It's been quite a discouraging day, as I got very little for progress done, and I wasted a lot of time, which sucks. Anyways, if this resumes, I'll let you know. Otherwise, it was just a complete waste of time. Yeah. Shut up, you silly birds. Chickens. So rude. Another day on this build. As you can tell by the absence of snow in the yard, it's been a little time. So the first thing I gotta do is I'm gonna connect the dots in this, make a score line, and then do another score line down here. That'll give me my 8 inches, and it'll also aid in folding, which hopefully this one doesn't crack up. I really hope it doesn't. Anyways, I'm going to turn this camera off, and I'll turn it back on. And probably after I get this all scored up. Yeah. Metal is scored. Sheet metal brake is set up, which is a pain in the butt. You got to get sawhorses out. Then the 2x6 on top, clamp the 2x6. Keep a spare clamp so you could then clamp the metal on there temporarily, and then you put on the nice heavy duty metal ones. So time to get my little brace there, that little triangle guy, onto there, sandwich this guy in between it, and do a fold, and I hope it works. Alright, it folded and it didn't break. This is good enough. I'm happy with this. This is going to be the sluice run, the bottom part. Now to build the crash box up top. I also got to check out all my parts and pieces here. So I got this and a few other guys inside here. And hopefully everything kind of matches up and lines up. I'm just going to hit the brakes on this, and I'll turn it back on when I get everything kind of happy. Okay, this is going to be the sluice run. Now, I didn't get the 48 inches I wanted. I got 46. Not that big of a deal. I would have been nicer to get a full 4 feet, but hey, you know, you can only do so much with what you got. Maybe I should have just went down a little bit lower on this. That would have extended it out, but it's nice to have the drop zone here where everything can fall in. You know, I don't want to lose any fluid coming out of here. When I do this, I'm going to silicone all this stuff down, clamp it, then bolt it, and I'm also going to put silicone all over top of the cracks here. We don't want any gold getting in there. And also in these back cracks here going up, that's going to get a layer of silicone as well, and everything's going to be bolted up nice and snug. I'm going to go buy some fasteners, I guess, for this. You know, we're going to have our legs back here, and somewhere's around here. I like keeping them about a foot away from the front, because as the water drops off, it'll wash out the ground, and then your front legs move, and then your whole sluice runs out of level. So we're going to just take care of that problem by mounting our legs a little further back, which is probably a good idea. It'd be nice if I could just incorporate them into this, but that'd probably be too far back. And we'll see what the design of the crash box looks like. If I can keep the crash box under, you know, 3 feet, I might just put the legs right into here, because then it'd be like the center of gravity. It'd be right above where the legs are. And that's what we're looking for. Another thing is, I'm so grateful to Paul Jarvis of Adventures in Gold Prospecting, because he hooked me up with a leg kit. Obviously not for free, but you know what I mean. The guy's got to make money. He's a man working at home, earning his keep. And I also was able to find the punch plate and expand it. And also Paul provided me with micro VMAT and the miner's moss. If you ever need anything, contact Paul Jarvis. He's a heck of a fine guy for that stuff. So this is what we're going to be putting in our sluice run, minus 2 inches. And this is what we're going to put on top for our crash box in our collection. And on the top in the crash box, that's even going to have micro VMAT and miner's moss underneath that punch plate. So I'm going to utilize as much of the sluice run as possible for capturing gold. Also, another nice thing about that too is you're always going to wash stuff down, and it just takes it a little bit longer to get there. You know what I mean? It's just nicer to have a more of an even regular flow going across your sluice run. So we got all the failed attempts back over here. If anybody knows a TIG welder and you want to make some sluice boxes, just let me know. I'll send you this just garbage. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way this is turning out. So that's awesome. And now to do up some more stuff for the crash box, which I'm so looking forward to. Oh, I'm glad this worked out. I'm so glad it folded nicely and didn't break on a fella. Ah, that's good. I'm looking forward to the way this is all going to turn out. And I'll keep you posted as I go. It's another day on this project. So, I got this piece of aluminum. I cleaned it up, as you can tell. I also scored my fold lines and trimming out the stuff that doesn't need to be there. So as you can see, this is going to fold up, this is going to fold up, this is going to fold up, and this is going to fold around the outside edge and be there. And this is going to be the base of my crash box. So just got to get rid of these guys. Get rid of that guy. And I need to file this up, clean it up, make it look a little bit more not as deadly. Oh shoot. I was supposed to cut that all the way up to here. I stopped there. Great. Now I need to get my saw back in here again. Alright, well, that's the update. That's where we're at. I figured I'd let you guys know what's going on. So, now that I've seen that, I gotta cut in here and take a little bit more aluminum. And then I'll set this thing up in the folder and bend it all out. I'm glad I noticed that before I decided to fold it. Okay, I got all the folds I wanted to out of this piece here. I'm going to chop down this back wall here a little bit to allow my 3/8 punch plate to extend out the back end for the coarse tailings. The 4-inch punch plate is 4 feet long, so I'm going to have it so it lips over the top, comes down, goes out in a bit of an angle. Then I'm going to put little 1/2-inch bars along the side that the expanded or the punch plate's going to sit on. I'm going to put a little L bracket back in here for the miner's moss and B-mat to stick in underneath. See how I got 48 inches there? I'm going to be cutting a little bit off of it. I might even be able to put a bit of that expanded metal across here with my little flip-up tabs to hold it in place for that. And so that'll take care of the expanded, or the punch plate, the micro V and all that. Down here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to have a little L bracket that'll go across here, just angle iron, hopefully aluminum. And then the V-mat and miner's moss will tuck in underneath that and then run straight down. And also the expanded metal should tuck underneath that, and that'll hold that in place to here. And I'll do a couple of my little flip clamps somewhere along the way, probably just 2 on each side, because that's all it'll need. I want to keep this thing as light as possible so it's easy to pack. That's the reason why I peeled off all the stickers off of it, and making it as small but yet big enough that it can handle a good load. As you can see, these are like 10-inch walls. I'll be able to load this thing right up. I'm going to have my water jet here blasting in. I'll have the punch plate here. The water jet's going to be blasting down, so it's going to be knocking a lot of the stuff down below, and the oversize will just blow at the back. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing completed now. I'm really happy the way it's looking, because it looks pretty damn good. But I'm going to hit the brakes on this now, because I got to go back down south here sometime soon and get all geared up for that. So that's whereabouts I'm at in this struggle of life. I got to put a bunch of tools away. Got to unclamp my sheet metal brake. It's my last day at home, so I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to edit a bunch of videos. Well, thanks for watching this section of it. I hope you enjoyed this build, and tune in later. See how she's turning out, because I'm going to keep this little video series going of this project, because it's to do it in one video would be too long, because there's so many little steps along the way, especially all the ones that you screw up on, like those 3 other attempts I did and the metal just broke. So thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you a little later on down the road, and if anybody else out there is wanting to make a video, you hit me up. And if you want to start making videos for yourself, highly recommend you do it. It just takes a little bit of time, energy, and sometimes money, unfortunately. In today's world, that's something we all don't have. So again, thanks for watching, and I hope I get to see you later on down the road. Bye. Oh, look at that beauty. She's gonna be awesome. Oh, I can't wait for its maiden voyage. Woohoo!